was actually kind of surprised the runs were actually kind of bigger and longer than I remembered.
Carved into the eastern face of New Hampshire's Mount Washington, Tuckerman's is the most formidable pitch on the most formidable mountain east of the Mississippi. A few hundred millennia ago, this mountain was larger than Everest. Sometimes, the snow feels like it's been here about that long.
It was funny standing in the bottom of the bowl and looking up before we went up there. You could see that line of new snow on the headwall and the ice above it.
Sure enough, it was even worse than we thought. It was super steep, rolling in, getting steeper and steeper, and every turn we were making, you can barely make an edge in. That was real grip.
Test those technical skills.
Yeah.
We don't really do so much out west, huh?
Yeah.
Definitely not in the powder snow.
Where are we going? We lost our way. The roads they never change. Forget the map just like Columbus. Forget the map just like Columbus. Forget the map just like Columbus.
Everything here is super steep, and it's definitely mountaineer stuff, I was expecting
awesome.
all kinds of snow, and that's exactly what we had.
Really, the cool thing about Tuckerman is that there's no other place on the East Coast where you can test your abilities. First, it's backcountry. Second, it's steep, and you get all types of conditions. Some of the best skiers in the country, if not the world, cut their teeth on Tuckerman Ravine.
When we arrived here, we didn't know what the condition was all about, so shortly realized the snow was pretty firm. Skiing those conditions, is making it a bit fun because it was more challenging, but super rippable.
Every time I come back, I have that sort of nostalgic feeling of where I grew up. And I was trying to kind of go through my memory banks of the ski runs that I had done and the places that I'd been up there. And the first time where I really was like up against Mother Nature and kind of feeling her in full force. As mountaineering has become more important to me, this place has gotten closer to the center of the radar. It just all makes sense. It was just perfect timing, kind of one of those trips that's just meant to be.
Actually, Chris is a little too young to have felt Mother Nature in full force on Mount Washington. That happened in 1934, when wind speeds of 231 miles per hour were recorded.
I wasn't too fired up just looking at the condition, so kind of poking around and checking the snow out, and then the weather's changing pretty much in front of her face, so it's kind of nice to be out there and get to see the weather change.
While the sport might have changed a lot, up here it hasn't really changed much at all.
Just above the ravine, hurricane-force winds are recorded 2 out of every 3 days, from November to April, which is why Chris and Hugo chose to come here. In March,
when I got to a certain spot, I was like, God, I remember being here as a kid. That was as powerful an experience as anywhere in the mountains that I've really felt. This place is the real deal.